Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Big Boa. Now, I don't have anything to compare it to. I didn't have Big Boa as a kid. I had no connection to him. I didn't really care for him that much, but here we are with the figure here, and we're going to take a look at him. He doesn't come with very much. Doesn't come with a punching bag. I understand what they're doing, but there are some things that I think, hey, you know what? He really needed something like that. But quickly, we'll take a look at him. There is some wonderful artwork there. You got the beat up face. You got his mask. There you have his weights. And then you have his boxing gloves. And then you have his fists with blood all over him. He is the trainer, so he doesn't come with any weapons. Now, I have so many weapons that I can find something else to use if need be. So there you have him punching. All right. The background, he is in the cage, and they just tell you a couple of things. Number 114, the QR code that leads us to hell. And then this somewhat file card. But anyway, if you want to know more about this guy, I will drop a link to the JLS Comics Big Boa. It does really explain him and the different comics and the different arcs and the female version. There's a lot to him that really, for a figure that I don't really know much about, or a lot of people don't seem to, I guess there's a good amount to him. So anyway, let's get into this. But before we do, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification if you like this type of stuff that I'm giving you. So now let's go take a look at it. Okay, so I got Big Boa out, and let's look at what he comes with. Not very much. You know, he comes with his weights, which is 90 pounds. Now, 90-pound dumbbells are heavy, just so you guys know that. So if you're doing bench presses, you know, it's not the worst. It's heavy. 90 pounds is 90 pounds. But if you're going to be curling 90 pounds, you are a beast, probably on steroids. If you're shoulder pressing 90 pounds, you are pushing, doing steroids. Just saying. Anyway, they look nice. They're actually pretty stiff, to be honest. So they aren't going to flex. Unfortunately, what I don't have is a weight bench, which I really wish I would have bought that Fortnite weight bench. But I think it pretty much sold out once this guy showed up. Here we have his boxing gloves. And they got some Cobra symbols on them. A little bit of paint app, so it looks pretty good. Now, this is a separate piece. So this is going to go around it. But they are, I don't know, they're kind of soft. But unfortunately, you don't have someone else to box. As you can see, I do have another figure here that we can fight. But the Cobra symbol looks nice. I mean, it is what it is, right, guys? Then we get the mask, the helmet that he is known to come with. Now, I do find it funny. These aren't sharp like a NECA. They're not going to poke you. But they are pokey, right? They're not flexible. So why is it that this isn't flexible, but pretty much everything else, the weapons that we come with are flexible? But this is, again, this is way stiffer. That feels solid. I have no problem. That's how the weapons came. Would not complain. Anyway, here's his helmet. You get an orange visor through there. You got the silver mask. His, I'm assuming rebreather or oxygen. You got your silver that runs across, spikes up, red. I think this looks really nice, and I don't see any paint app issues. Now, it does look like he could be the leader of the Techno Vipers with how that mask looks. Even though this is like a Cylon, you definitely could make him part of them if you want. But now let's take a look at the actual figure and see how he is. So the face, that they had nothing to go off of. So this is what they created. He's got some busted out teeth. He really looks like he has been in a knockdown drag 'em fight, which is good because so is their Chuckles over there. So anyway, hair looks good. I love the texture of what they're doing. It makes it feel like it's something different. We already pointed out the teeth. Eyes, he's pointed straight. He is looking at you. I don't see any issues with the eyebrows. His classic bondage wear. Again, in the JLS video, he kind of explains where he came from. What two things they mashed to make it work together. So check that out. It's a very interesting read. But the silver looks really nice here. All right, the red pops. These aren't, again, they're not pokey. You can see that they're dull, but they're not flimsy. So once again, like certain things, they hit it out of the park. And other things I'm just not understanding. There are his nipples that were specifically discussed, and they seem to be really, really far away. I'm not sure why. They feel like they should be in a little bit more, but maybe he's one of those guys with a really weird chest that pulls out. You have your cup that I guess he's wearing. Again, the little paint apps go really far, and I can't believe I'm just touching his crotch like that. But I think this looks really good. It looks like it's rope. Little clasp in the back holding it together. On his knuckles, you get a lot of nice little blood. Now, I know what people were going to say, that if this was real, he would have blood all over him. But maybe these are just ones that he already had on, right? Or not that he didn't have already on. Maybe this is ones that he already had. He just kind of rewrapped up his hands. It still had blood. He'd washed his hands. I don't know. Again, it's a toy. You can see no pinless joints, which means he is off another figure. My guess is Gung Ho and a Roadblock. This guy doesn't skip leg day. Thank God. There are some toy designers that skip leg day like you wouldn't believe. Boots go all the way down here. Got some nice red that goes through there. So all in all, the figure looks pretty good for what he is. Now, let's take a look at the articulation. Head looks up, he looks down, and kind of move back and forth. T-pose. We know all this here, but he feels really solid, okay? So no pinless joints. We saw how the elbows work, or not the elbows, the wrist. He has his ab crunch. He does turn back and forth. A wonderful Jean-Claude Van Damme. Look at that. He goes almost all the way down. Drop down hips. You got your legs. Your thigh swivel. Pinless legs. So this is built, I believe, on a bigger buck there. This is probably what they should have used for Bazooka. There's your boot cut. Everything feels really... I mean, I'll tell you what. These figures feel really, really good. I know I've been saying it, but there's no gumminess to it. And all in all, everything on this figure, even though there's not much to them, the weights feel really good. That popped off really easy. We'll see how he looks. This is how I will probably... This one is... Okay, so if you do try and push on it, he's gonna hurt, and that just hurt. Ouch. Oh God. So if you've ever removed a NECA figure that has some sort of point to it, you know that it hurts when you try and put the stuff on. And yes, this hurts enough that if you're trying to push it down, it's gonna hurt. So this thing comes out. It's a very long peg, it seems. Throw on the boxing gloves. All right. So this came off nice and easy, nice and smooth. I wonder if we can use them on other figures. And here we go. Just kind of popping this stuff on here. And now we have our classic Big Boa. How big is Big Boa, you ask? Well, we're going to bring Chuckles over. We're going to see how he compares in height. Again, not too much to pose with this figure. We're going to throw his weights on him in a second, but wow, he is big. So I would say I don't have a roadblock up here or gung ho. I have a Mezco one. I got an idea. We will grab him against a Marvel Legends Bishop. Oh, I can have a nice little fight between these two. Look at the colors even match. Look at that. These two are like meant to fight. Woof. He could be like a... He could be some crazy psychotic mutant hunter. Kind of like it. I actually like the way the figure looks. I think the colors really pop. It actually looks really good against this Bishop. Okay. This is when I'm starting to cross brands, mix brands, which isn't the worst thing in the world. You know, you guys can do that. You are allowed. No one is coming to take your toys. It's crazy how that is. All right, so let's throw these weights on him. This guy, again, I believe, they didn't give him a lot. They should have gave him a syringe so he could be shooting steroids. Just have a little hole right here that you see him shooting up his Deca. All right, so look at that. Woof. Now, I wonder if this guy here, do you think he's doing curls one at a time? One here, bringing this one down, and then bringing this one up. Or do you think he's at the end of the set where he's just trying to get as many reps up as possible, brings it up? Look at that. Well, that's for you to decide here. I'm going to do one at a time. Again, proper curls. Look at that. Proper curls. Don't swing that arm, all right? You know, at the end, you can do your little cheats, all right? That's what Arnold Schwarzenegger did. You can do that here. Now, what I don't like, per se, is that you don't have fist hands with the blood. But we're still going to try and do our best to have them up against our chuckles here. So, there you go. That is Big Boa. There's not much to him. But I kind of like him for how basic he is. He is really, really bare bones. But he looks good. They just really need a punching bag. Maybe that's something I can 3D print and get one up here. I need to get a weight bench anyway, so I need to look for a 3D print for that. So I guess let's wrap it up. Not much more to say about this guy. Again, the detail is nice though. All right, so my final first thought on this G.I. Joe Classified Big Boa is he doesn't have a lot. I like what he has. I'm not going to lie. But he really did need that punching bag. I think he should have come with a weapon. But again, I have so many weapons that I don't even care. He does not have trigger finger. So I'd have to find a different different type of gun that I can use that maybe doesn't have a trigger guard. But all in all, this guy doesn't skip leg day. He's got 90 pounds. Again, I need a punching bag for him. That's what he should have come with. A weight bench, something like that. The unmasked head, I'll probably only use for some pictures, some shots, but that's about it. He'll be hanging with this one, though I will be alternating between the boxing gloves and these hands with have the blood on the tape. So there you go. All right, so there you have it. That's my Big Boa review, and I will say I like this figure way more than I had anticipated. I've said it before, the Classified team, for what they do, even figures that I didn't care about before, they made most of them look really good. Falcon is really the only one that I look at that is absolutely awful. This, they've made into a figure that I actually like and I'm glad to actually have. I think he can be used in so many different lines, whether it be Masters of the Universe, he could easily be used. If you want to use them against the 7-inch figures, you can use them against the mutants, you can use them against Marvel, all that other stuff. So anyway, there he is. I'm just going to ramble on if I don't stop myself. But hey, that's what you came for. I'm going to get out of here. Listen, if you're on social media, if you're on Instagram, A Punk with Toys, there's 2 different ones. Subscribe to them both. I'm giving you 2 different types of content. Now that I got my main one back, Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a punk with toys, and last but not least, listen, you stayed this long, don't go anywhere. Please, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe video, and I drop a lot because they give us lots of stuff. Now, I'm going to get out of here, but don't go anywhere. Right up here is the Quick Kick review, and down here is the classified playlist of all the videos that I've done, which is every single figure.